Best part about my job, this right here, when you can say, hey, look, y'all, we got Scotty McCreery.
How fun is
How are
that?
you, buddy?
What's going on, y'all? Thanks for having me on.
Well, I have to ask the first thing right off the bat. How's Gabi and the Gababy?
And the baby. I haven't heard that. They're doing really well. Little man's growing up quick and got his own little personality. And me and Gabi just got back from a big old West Coast run. So we're catching up on some Z's before we hit the road again.
Isn't it fun when they start turning into who they are? Right. Yeah. And, when they're blah before then, and they're nothing. They're just there to poop, cry, and stuff like that. But when they start getting that little personality and you can start seeing who they are, and I'm telling you, this stage I've got a 14 and a 12-year-old. And the best part to me is when they start entertaining you, when they start figuring out what you find funny.
Yeah.
And that is the best in the world.
Yeah, he's already kind of starting to figure some stuff out, and we're starting to see a little sass come out too, a little attitude every now and then. We're like, okay, now, buddy, hold up. I know you're cute and all, but
how old is he now, Scotty?
He's a year and a half.
Oh yeah. So, yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm just saying, you've seen your wife get a little irritated, right?
Oh yeah.
He's learning it.
He's watching, just like that Rodney Atkins song. He's watching.
He's watching you all the time. It's amazing. And the stuff that you have to watch your language. I was taking my kid was about 2.5 years old, and I was trying to get out of the car, and the door came back and hit me, and I said something I shouldn't have. Uh-huh. And he's in the back seat, and he goes, "Oh, blank, 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 blank." Uh-oh. And I'm like screaming, going, no.
Don't tell mama. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because she's going to know exactly where he learned that.
100%. That's too good.
How much fun is it? I mean, it's one thing because you had this kind of meteoric rise thanks to American Idol, but I can't imagine what it's like going out. Like I was watching Cab in a Solo Truck, and you're getting ready, the video, you get ready to go in a stadium. I mean, is it still, do you get nerves at all? Or is it just so darn much excitement you just can't wait to get on stage?
For that show in the Cab video, yeah, I definitely got nervous. 98,000 people is not my normal show attendance. So it was a big one for us. But I just get excited more than anything. I love, my passion is to write and sing country music. And so getting to do that anytime, I love it. But to actually have people show up and sing your songs back to you, it's pretty awesome.
Well, you're at that stage now where you've got a library. You've got a lot of songs, right? Where you get to sit back and go, and do you know which ones it's going to drive them? What's going to get the big roar? Is it Damn Straight? Is it 5 More Minutes? I mean, which is the ones that go, whoa, okay, guys, here's where we're going to put this because we know how they act.
Yeah, we make them wait for those songs. That those are towards the tail end of the show, so they can't leave too early. But Damn Straight, when they get to the first chorus, that's always the pretty loudest part of the night. And then 5 More Minutes is the song though where you see people like bumping their neighbors and smiles and phones come up, and that's the one I think they're waiting on every night.
Well, all of them. I bet you This Is It gets a pretty good loud reaction.
Yeah,
too.
It does. Especially now we have the video walls that kind of show our wedding behind us. So pretty cool.
So did you know that Damn Straight, when you heard that song, did you go, oh, this?
Yeah. I write most of my stuff now, but every now and then you get a song sent to you that's kind of undeniable. And that was one where I was sitting there like, nobody has this on hold. Like this is really one I can record if I want to. And they said, yeah. I said, well, let's take it and let's go record it tomorrow. Because it just seemed like
you know what other song I had a reaction like that to? Your new one.
What's that?
The
really?
New one. Oh my goodness. We heard that just this morning. I was like, okay, that's a smash.
I love 3-4 Time. I love 3-4 Time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You don't get to hear them too often anymore. So
it
makes you want to.
It does.
Yeah, it's just got that driving little beat, right? And it's fun. And I love the fact that it starts off as a sad song that ain't sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's a heartbreak, but he's he's finding his way to. He's doing just fine.
Well, and the way
Cabinet Solo Cup is a song that doesn't sound like it should be sad, but it is.
I know it's one of those things. It's so fun to sing for me though, because it feels like the country I grew up on. So like it's a heartbreak song, but I swear I'm smiling every night when I'm singing it because it's just as fun.
Speaking of which, I don't know if there's a more fun video, and y'all need to look it up. When you went back for your hometown American Idol, and Josh Turner surprised you on stage.
Yeah, that was a special moment for sure.
Are you guys friends now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're buddies now. So it's really cool. He'll always be a hero of mine. And I remember in that moment, I was singing his song, Your Man, live, and there were 30,000 people there that day. It was crazy. But all of a sudden, they started losing their minds. They were going crazy. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I got them right in the palm of my hand. They're loving me. They're loving me. And then I turned around and was like, oh, that's what they're yelling for, Josh Turner.
Well, it's just, and I'll tell you the truth that we've told you this story before, but Julie and I were at the supposed last show of American Idol. Remember when they tried to stop for, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they told me that too.
Yeah. And when you walked out on stage, you could tell by the people who won.
Yeah.
And when you walked out on stage, man, it was a different sound. It was, and not to besmirch any of the other contestants. They're all fabulous singers. But you got one of the people who won.
100%.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. That was a fun night, and got to see a bunch of folks, and I think I got to sing a little Garth Brooks that night. So I enjoyed being there for that. They did tell us it was the last show, so we stopped what we were doing to be there. And it was like, we're back next year. What?
You have now learned from television. Television never dies.
No.
Yeah,
that's
right,
true.
Exactly.
And when you sit back and what's it like when you go back? Because I know you went back and sang Cabinet Solo Truck for him, and it was great. I mean, and again, it's one of those things where all the other contestants look and go, so that's the standard.
Yeah, they were really sweet. I got to say hi to a couple of contestants, and I remember being in their shoes and how intimidating the show is and the lights, and when you see alumni come back, it's like, oh my gosh, like they've done it. So I try to make them at ease and give them any tips that I can. But yeah, it's fun to go back. It's like a reunion. A lot of the producers there were the producers when I was on the show, and camera guys are the same, and security's the same. So it's pretty
this
cool
makes me very happy, because when I told my mother that we were going to be interviewing you today, she said, "Is he still a nice boy?"
No, he will probably show up drunk. We'll probably get in a fight.
She said he is the only person I've ever voted for in one of those shows. I said, I'll ask him, Mom, if he's still nice.
And if you know how,
I try to be.
You know how much trouble her mother has using a phone? Do you know how big deal that is?
Oh, man. Hey, I appreciate every vote counted, man.
Because I'm telling you, Julie and I'll be doing the show, and her phone will ring, and she'll be, hold on, it's my mom. and it'll be like, you need to turn the light switch on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's, you're headed that way, Scotty, just so you know. You're headed that way.
I'm already feeling it for sure.
And you've got the iconic thing, because it's one thing to win American Idol. It's another thing to have a career.
Yeah.
And that's, again, not besmirching anybody else, but the fact that you found your lane, and that's the hardest thing to do, is to figure out what it is I do, and I'm going to stay in this lane.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, my goal was always to be a country singer, country musician, and TV was never part of the plan. It just kind of happened. So after that, it was, all right, what do we have to do to get to make records now and tour the country? And so we just got to work. And that first album, I had no clue what the heck I was doing, but little by little, I started writing songs, and I started growing up and having life experience and figuring out who I was as a man first, and then as an artist. And it just kind of, I just threw it all to the music. Everything I learned, I put it in my songs, and I'm lucky to still be around doing it.
When it comes to writing, because you're a very accomplished writer, I love finding this out. I love the process. And I know it changes all the time, but if you had to sit back and go, I have a process, does it start with the words? Do you find a tune and then, because I've talked to everybody, and everybody has a different way, but everybody is, if you needle it down, where does it start? And where does it start for you?
Most of the time, it's an idea. and I throw it in my notes app and on my iPhone. And then when I get there to start writing a song with my buddies, I'll go through and 90% of them are awful ideas. It's like, what was I thinking, But every now and then you find some little nuggets that are like, oh, wow, we could really write something special here. And I'll tell you, the fun thing about writing this new album was instead of like 11 o'clock at Nashville, go to the office and write with your pals. I brought all my buddies up to the mountains of North Carolina, and we had like a little retreat, and most of the songs we wrote were outside on the back porch around a fire and guitars writing, just no phones out, no nothing. It felt like the old days and like how songs should be written. It was really fun.
You're doing the Eric Church thing, aren't you? I mean, that's what Church does.
Yeah, we actually go to the same part of the mountains, the Linville Boone area where he went to college at App State. So I figured if it worked for him, I might give that a go myself.
You talk about different ideas. Remember that song he had, Creepin'? And I asked him about it one time, and I said, where'd that come from? He goes, you want to know the truth? It was a bee buzzing around a screen porch. And if you think about it, bow, 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 bow. And he goes, that was the sound I heard from the bee. And I'm like, I'm going to write that song.
Well, I know. Yeah. You never know.
I'm just like,
never.
And I say this because I know him and I love him. And I'm like, Church, you're the weirdest thing.
Yeah, he's out there. He's artistic, his brain works a different way than most of them.
Well, and that's the fun thing. And now that you get to know these people, I mean, you knew Josh Turner before he had a beard.
Yeah, the big one too.
Oh man,
big burly beard. It matches his voice, so it works really great.
Well,
but yeah, it's really wild. They're all still heroes, and I'm still fans of these people's work. It's fun to meet them in real life and know, wow, they're good, normal people too.
Well, we saw when you saw Josh Turner and your mouth dropped open. Who else have you met where you're just like, I can't believe you're standing in front of me right now?
Garth was a pretty big one for me, and it's still wild because he's been a great friend as well to me and the family and his entire family too, his daughters. And but he's still, you're talking to him and you can't really get over the fact that it's like, this is Garth Brooks, like in the flesh, you can't, that never quite leaves your head.
So I want to tell you about our new sponsor, The Gym Guys. I have been working out with them for over a year now. It all started with the pandemic and there was no place to go. The gyms were closed, all that kind of stuff. I found The Gym Guys because they come to you. The commute is theirs. Isn't that one of the worst parts of working out? Is you have to factor in the commute time? Not with The Gym Guys. And it's more motivating. It's one thing to say, I'm going to work out today. It's another thing if you know, like, I have Luciana coming over today at 11:15. I got to be ready for it. And then they change the workouts up for you. They give you an app, so when you're working out on your own, you know how to do it right and what you're trying to do. And they also give you access to a nutritionist. It's all there for you. You can take it as, if you're just starting your journey, or maybe you want to take your journey to the next level. They've even got a contest on how you can win 100 free sessions with your friends and coworkers. It's at thebiggestmover.com, thebiggestmover.com. But you'll find The Gym Guys on the web, GYMGUYZ. If you're looking for Western wear, you need to find Winchester Western Wear at 1185 South Bascom Avenue in San Jose. You're not going to find the perfect outfit at the mall or the outlets. Come to the place with over 40 years of experience and all the top name brands like Ariat, Justin, Stetson, Tony Lama, and more. When you go to the great country shows at Shoreline, SAP, Club Rodeo, or Clola Shans, you'll be looking your best. From boots to hats to everything in between, with a knowledgeable staff that'll make the entire experience a fun one. Find them online at winchesterww.com. That's winchesterww.com. Or put this in your maps, 1185 South Bascom Avenue in San Jose. Winchester Western Wear. They'll help you find a look you love. We're not going to keep you much longer because we just figured out, and the baby is probably waking up from their nap soon. So Gabi would like you to say goodbye-bye and get the heck back into being here. Before that's over. But you're just the best. And like we said, we love that new song, Home. I mean, I love cab in a solo truck, drinking cab in a solo truck and I'm solo in my cab. I love that.
Yeah.
And I also like that you had a bottle of Silver Oak. That's pretty. I've had Silver Oak in a solo cup.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. The people there have told us, they're like, man, we've always wanted people to look at our wine, not as just a fancy date night wine, but like drink it out of a plastic cup kind of thing. So,
anybody who charges over $100 a bottle doesn't get to say that.
Well, that's touche.
Yeah, you don't get to say. I used to go houseboating with friends of mine who were, fairly well-to-do, and they would bring wine like Silver Oak. And, you can't have any glass on a houseboat.
Yeah.
And so we would sit up on the top at night and drink cab in a solo. Silver Oak in a solo cup.
There you go. That's the ticket right there.
Yeah. Well, see, the key is having rich friends. That's what I've learned. A lot of cool things have happened in my life. by having people who can afford to do stuff that I can't. Because, if they leave it up to Gary to bring the wine, we're going to Trader Joe's.
Hey, little $2 Chuck. Just never
$2 Chuck. That's it. I mean, after the third cup, what do you care?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I love it. That was a blast. Yeah, that's on every day in the house because it's like on after our morning news or something like that, or today, something like that. He's always watching, but it's pretty wild that we got a chance to do it, and we won a lot of money for St. Jude's. It was great. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was the best of all.
Booyah! Exactly.
That was amazing. My friend, thank you so much. And hey, when you come see us, man. We're always going to try to talk you into coming out here whenever you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we've been talking to Nate about a show hopefully next year at some point too. So that'd be fun.
It would be.
Yes, please, and we'll make sure there are plenty of bottles of Silver Oak.
No, there we go.
I'm just saying. Yeah, you bring the cup and we'll have the bottles.
I love it. I got the better end of that bargain.
Hey, no, we did. No, don't kid yourself. We got the better end. Hey, Scotty, thank you, my friend. Have fun with the baby. And tell Gabi we say goodbye-bye.
I will tell her. Absolutely. Always good to see y'all.
Later, buddy.
Y'all be good.